Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to take this shower head apart. I want to clean it. The spray's not coming out right. It's a multi-stream shower head, pulsating, and it's only a year old, and I don't feel like going down and having to buy another one and every year having to replace it. And so I finally figured out how to take them apart. I haven't been able to find a video that shows me how to do it, so I'm going to show you today how to do it. To get these things off, what you want to do is use a pair of channel locks with a paper towel or a cloth towel. You put that between it and the pair of pliers that you're using so you're not scoring this. Now, sometimes you want to use Teflon on an arm. Sometimes they do leak for whatever reason, sometimes burrs, whatever, but most of these have a gasket in there, and all you have to do is really snug it down. If the arm is in good shape, and this is fairly new, and the gasket is in good condition, it should seal. Sometimes they don't, so then you have to use Teflon tape. Okay, so let's get to it. So what I've done on these is I've gently pushed up on this lever, the lever that controls the streams. And once I get a gap in there, I take a putty knife and I cover it with a paper towel. Keep it thin so you can get into that gap, and then just kind of work your way around it. And I use a paper towel on this so I'm not scoring the plastic or metal on these to finish. So as you kind of go around, you just kind of pop it up until you finally get it loose where it comes off. Okay, there we go. This one looks like it's in pretty good shape. Now, what you want to pay attention to is these clips. Where the lever is, this is wider than this one or this one, which indicates where it goes back. This is narrow, this is narrow, this is wider, and actually there's an arrow there, and so that's where it's going to go back. So after you're done cleaning, you just kind of go around and pop it back into place. Okay, so let's take this Phillips out so we can get this other part of the head out. It has the water ports in it. Okay, and so we'll pull this off. There we go. And hang on to these screws. We don't want to lose any of the small parts. And this looks like it's all glued together, so it's not coming apart. And so what I've done is I go through and clean each one of these ports out with a bobby pin or clip or whatever you have that fits in there without tearing these things apart. And I do that before I soak it, and just kind of break things loose, okay, and then soak it. Now it's nice if you soak these apart because they're easier to flush and clean, run water through. So let's take this grommet out, spring loaded, because this is what's sending water through here, right? And so it has to ride in there kind of snug to keep water from going every other way. Okay, so this is your spring. You want to hang on to that. And this pin here also sits on a spring, and this actually controls the distance that this travels left to right. Okay, so you see that goes in there, and that's the way that works. Okay, so we'll pull this out. We don't want to lose these springs. Now these you can soak, but they're not too dirty, so I don't think I'm going to have to do anything with this. Now this is glued in, so this will not come apart unless this does, but it's not coming apart because this is glued together. Okay, so there you have it. And once you get it soaked, and I recommend vinegar or diluted vinegar, and let it soak overnight, and then you can kind of, if there's anything loose in there, you hear there's nothing in there now, and if things start to loosen up in there, of course, flush it out. Same thing with this. Turn this port down, and once you get these worked again and loosened, then you can shake this out as you rinse it. And then this one here, you can gently, I don't recommend the green sponge on these, the scouring sponge. Use the blue one, okay? The green one will scratch it, okay? So once you get it all cleaned out, we can put it back together. So this spring, doesn't matter which ends up, it's the same. So you get that in there, and get this in there, but careful not to pinch it. Okay, that's in there. You want to get the pin spring back in there. Okay, get that set. Okay, now we can go ahead and line this slot up on top of the pin, and then we'll move it back and forth to make sure we're set right. Perfect. Okay, now we want to put our screw back in, and when you tighten this, just tighten it snug, not real tight. You don't want to break or crack anything. Okay, all right, and then you want to check to make sure that it goes back and forth nice and solid. Okay, now we'll go ahead and line our clips up like we were talking before. Here's the arrow, here's a wide clip, the lever. Once we get that on there, now we just compress it. Make sure it's sealed all the way around. Go back and forth with it. Now you should be in pretty good shape. There you have it. That's it. See you next time. Thank you.